He'll be fine as long as he's standing. A line from China Su that really aged well, considering the ending of the chapter. Hello everyone and welcome to Anime Awakening, and today we're here to talk about chapter 56 of the Blue Box manga series. A chapter that really focuses on the practice match between Yusa and Taiki. Now, as well as that, the chapter does also focus on Taiki's mental state, making our protagonist seem like he's doubting himself and questioning his own goals and motivations. So what is Taiki suffering from? Well, it's not 100% clear based on the chapter, but it does seem like he's lacking in self-confidence or he has some serious self-doubt issues. We can tell this from two statements that Taiki makes within this chapter. Number one, he states that when Hina confessed to him, he felt happy, but he thought, why me? In Taiki's mind, he was questioning things, because he thinks that Hina is a super popular, really talented and stunning individual. So the why me question that comes into play is Taiki's lack of self-esteem and confidence around himself. He can't see why Hina, as talented as she is, would want someone useless, untalented, and normal/boring like himself. Of course, we know that Taiki isn't seeing things clearly at the moment. He's thinking negatively and not thinking positively about himself. So those statements that he kind of might be thinking aren't true. The second statement he makes in his chapter was, who do I think I am? Now, this is relating to all of the big goals and promises that he set/agreed with in the past. For example, going to nationals. That's a massive achievement that Taiki would have never thought about doing before the series began. He was just playing badminton to have fun and to pass time. But now with this promise with China Su, he's been focused on going to nationals, and he's been thinking that he's got a good shot at doing so. Unfortunately though, he's not matching up to characters like Yusa, or Haru, or Hyodo. And that's where the, who do I think I am? Do I really think I had what it takes to beat these people? Of course I never did, so why did I think I did? The other thing it could be relating to is, of course, wanting to be the person that China Su can rely on the most. Again, in Taiki's mind, China Su is this perfect person. She's stunning, she's smart, she's talented, she's everything that Taiki isn't. So why would she want to associate herself with Taiki? Apart from that, one thing that does worry me though was the panel that we see the racket on the floor at the end. With knowing the feelings and thoughts that Taiki is currently going through, it does make me wonder, did he drop his racket as a symbolizing way of saying he's quitting badminton? Now, there's two ways to interpret that last panel. It's Taiki dropping his racket, or Yusa just scooping up the shuttlecock. Most likely Yusa, but at the same time, even if it's not, the idea of Taiki quitting can still be a factor because of his very defeated body language that he displays within the chapter itself. Taiki had a chance to see how much he's improved since the last time he faced Yusa, but unfortunately, in terms of points since the qualifiers for nationals, he hasn't actually improved in that regard. The score at national qualifiers was 21-13, the same as the points in this match. Now, this could have been because of Taiki's shaken mental state. So those 13 points against Yusa, while trying to battle those negative emotions and feelings inside of him, could actually be quite impressive. But then at the same time, Yusa was never really trying. Yusa was in full control of the match, making Taiki dance across the court to his own beat. And Yusa just looked annoyed, looked disinterested, and yeah, there was no real threat from Taiki there. And we know that Yusa is saving his energy when he wants to face Haru. So again, Yusa is not interested. So Taiki scoring those 13 points may seem like a good thing if he's in a bad mental state, may seem like a bad thing for not progressing since national qualifiers, but it's also a bad thing because he's playing an opponent that just really doesn't care and is just beating him to save face. Now, sticking on the topic of Yusa, he doesn't give away much in terms of his emotions or his expressions, and he's a man of few words. But you could sense that Yusa was wondering something at the end of this chapter. He was looking at Taiki, and I got the sense that he was wondering what was eating away at our main protagonist. Thinking something along the lines of, I thought that kid at least showed a bit of promise, but this match was way too easy. Now, I might be overthinking that, but his eyes and the expression on that last panel did speak something without the need of text, and I thought that was quite an awesome visual. Now, of course, this chapter isn't the first time that we've heard Taiki say something negative about himself. In fact, in chapter 25, Taiki thinks he is very uncool. This, of course, comes after the fact that he lost at the national qualifiers, and he has become ill/sick. But during that time, when he was recovering, who was it that helped him recover from that illness and those negative thoughts in that time span? Well, that was Chinatsu. And personally, I do think she'll help Taiki recover again in future chapters, but not right away. In fact, I think we'll get some chapters or panels of Taiki not turning up for practice, both morning and afternoon, and thus causing Chinatsu to become more concerned about our main protagonist. And during that time, the Taiki's not showing up to practice, I think Karu will confront Taiki, causing an argument between the two, where Taiki ultimately ends up leaving the badminton group. We could then recreate the moment between Taiki and Chinatsu where they played badminton in that previous chapter within the series, learning more about both of our characters. Taiki would then try to rejoin the badminton group, but in order to do so, he must beat Haru, thus showcasing some skill development from our protagonist, but also him just having fun and going up against a challenge that she thinks is impossible, but overcoming it, and thus making him more positive in general. Now, sticking with the kind of loose topic of Taiki and Chinatsu, I want to rewind back to chapter 23, where Taiki wrote down a note about wanting to get his smashes in. Pause, because I just realised phrasing might be a bit weird on that. But this is just a little fun goal that we haven't really seen much training towards from Taiki since chapter 23. I liked how in this chapter though Taiki loses to a smash shot / dunk, and I want to mention this because something that both Taiki and Chinatsu have lost to was written on that notebook. Taiki lost to a smash shot and Chinatsu missed her shot at nationals, thus losing on that grand stage. Now, having goals like these can be a good way to improve and see positive improvement in oneself, thus having a healthier mindset moving forward. So, setting little challenges to improve yourself like this, I think could help Taiki break free from those negative, self-doubting thoughts that he's currently having. Making small goals and achievements is one step to do that. On the topic of Chinatsu, I loved that line from her though where she stated that it's fine as long as he's still standing. Yes, I used it jokingly in the opening of this review, but seeing how the match ended with Taiki on the floor, not standing, was perfect symbolism and a perfect visual. Hopefully Chinatsu will talk to him and check to see if he's okay after falling. Briefly, the art style. This was on point throughout the entirety of the chapter. It impressed me more once again. I like the detail of the match that was being shown during the visuals and the amount of time that it was allocated, because normally with these badminton matches, they're very quick and over in a fast pace. But at the same time, this managed to get some breathing room. We managed to see some detailed art and it flowed quite nicely. The character reaction shots at the match's conclusion though I thought was awesome as well. Taiki seemed down and defeated both mentally and physically. Hina was sad, shocked and worried. Chinatsu looked worried, concerned and sad. Yusa just looked mad. Even the mop guy didn't even know what to say to Taiki based on his expression. Now the road ahead for Taiki is going to be long and hard to overcome, But he needs to remember that he has friends and people around him like Chinasu, Hina, Haru, and Kyo, who surprisingly wasn't actually featured during this match between Yusa and Taiki. So I do wonder where Kyo's gotten himself to. But yes, Taiki needs to rely on the people around him to help him regain that passion, that enthusiasm that he once showed at the start of the series for the love and sport of badminton. And I, for one, can't wait to see that unfold. So let me know your thoughts on this chapter in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. Like always, if you enjoyed the review, which I hope you did, like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more Blue Box content. Have a great day. Arigato, matane, goodbye.